Welcome back to our series on inclusive cities. In this second episode, we delve into a critical issue at the heart of urban development, the housing crisis in South Africa. This educational episode is guided by the expertise of Professor Hangwelani Hope Magidimisa, the South African Research Chair for Inclusive Cities based at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. The episode has been meticulously researched and put together by Ms. Kiara Rampol, a dedicated PhD student whose work focuses on creating equitable urban environments. Together, we will explore the challenges posed by informal settlements and inadequate housing, shedding light on how these issues affect the journey towards building inclusive cities. This episode aims not only to educate but to spark meaningful conversations on how we can ensure that every citizen, regardless of their circumstances, has a place to call home in our cities. The title of this episode is addressing the housing crisis in informal settlements and the path to inclusive cities in South Africa. To begin, let's define what we mean by informal settlements. Informal settlements are densely populated areas where housing is constructed on land that the occupants have no legal claim to, or where the housing itself does not comply with current planning and building regulations. These settlements often arise out of necessity, as people migrate to cities in search of better opportunities, but find themselves unable to afford formal housing. In South Africa, informal settlements are a stark reminder of the ongoing struggle for adequate housing and the deep-rooted inequalities within our urban areas. These settlements are typically characterized by a lack of access to basic services such as clean water, sanitation, and electricity, and are often located in hazardous areas prone to flooding or landslides. In this episode, we will explore the complex factors that contribute to the growth of informal settlements and the challenges they present in the quest for inclusive cities. Our focus will be on understanding the lived experiences within these communities and exploring pathways to integrate informal settlements into the broader urban landscape in a way that promotes dignity, safety, and inclusivity for all. As we delve deeper into this episode, it's essential to understand the complex factors that contribute to the growth of informal settlements in South Africa. First and foremost, economic inequality plays a significant role. Many people in South Africa live below the poverty line, making it impossible for them to afford formal housing. The rapid urbanization of cities, driven by the promise of better employment opportunities, has led to a surge in the population of urban areas. However, this influx is not matched by an increase in affordable housing options. Additionally, the historical context of apartheid has left a legacy of spatial inequality, where marginalized communities were pushed to the outskirts of cities. The slow pace of land reform and redistribution has further exacerbated the housing shortage. Many are forced to build makeshift homes on whatever land they can find, often in unsafe or unsuitable locations. Government policies and urban planning have not kept up with the needs of the growing urban poor. The lack of proactive housing policies and delays in service delivery have left many with no choice but to settle informally. These settlements are not just a symptom of poverty, but also reflect systemic failures in planning and governance. Understanding these factors is crucial as we move forward in this discussion, recognizing that addressing informal settlements requires a multifaceted approach that considers economic, social, and historical contexts. The existence of informal settlements presents significant challenges in the quest for inclusive cities. These settlements, by their very nature, are often excluded from the formal urban planning process, leading to a lack of infrastructure and essential services. One of the primary challenges is the lack of basic amenities such as clean water, sanitation, and electricity. The absence of these services not only affects the quality of life but also perpetuates the cycle of poverty, making it harder for residents to escape these conditions. Additionally, the precarious location of many informal settlements, often on the periphery of cities or in environmentally hazardous areas, exposes residents to natural disasters and health risks. These areas are frequently overlooked by urban planners, resulting in further marginalization of their inhabitants. The social stigma attached to informal settlements also poses a barrier to inclusivity. Residents of these areas are often viewed as outsiders or illegals, which can lead to discrimination and exclusion from broader urban society. This stigma can hinder efforts to integrate these communities into the formal city structure. Informal settlements are typically characterized by insecure land tenure, where residents do not have legal rights to the land they occupy. This insecurity makes it difficult for residents to invest in their homes or access credit, further entrenching their exclusion from the benefits of urban life. These challenges highlight the urgent need for inclusive urban policies that recognize and address the realities of informal settlements, ensuring that all residents can enjoy the benefits of living in a well-planned and equitable city. As we shift our focus to the lived experiences within informal settlements, it's crucial to recognize that these communities are not just areas of poverty but vibrant, dynamic spaces where people live, work, and form strong social bonds. Despite the challenging conditions, residents of informal settlements exhibit remarkable resilience and resourcefulness. Daily life in these communities is marked by a constant struggle for basic needs, but it is also enriched by a deep sense of community and mutual support. Many residents engage in informal economic activities such as running small shops or providing local services, which sustain their livelihoods and contribute to the local economy. However, these lived experiences are often marred by uncertainty and insecurity. The lack of legal recognition and basic services means that residents live in a state of vulnerability, where even small setbacks can have devastating consequences. Despite these challenges, there is a strong desire among residents to improve their living conditions and secure a better future for their families. By understanding these lived experiences, we can begin to see informal settlements not just as problems to be solved, but as communities with unique strengths and needs. This perspective is key to developing solutions that are not only effective but also respectful of the dignity and aspirations of the people who live there. To truly achieve inclusive cities, it is essential to explore pathways that integrate informal settlements into the broader urban landscape in a way that promotes dignity, safety, and inclusivity for all. One of the most promising approaches is in situ upgrading, where existing informal settlements are improved without displacing residents. This approach includes providing access to basic services like water, sanitation, and electricity, upgrading infrastructure, and ensuring secure land tenure. In situ upgrading not only improves living conditions but also strengthens the social fabric of the community by allowing residents to stay in familiar environments. Another pathway to integration involves participatory planning, where residents of informal settlements are actively involved in the decision-making process regarding the development of their communities. This approach ensures that the solutions implemented are aligned with the needs and desires of the residents, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility. Additionally, creating connections between informal settlements and the formal city is crucial. This can be achieved by improving transportation links, providing access to education and healthcare, and integrating informal economies into the broader urban economy. Such measures help bridge the gap between informal and formal areas, ensuring that all residents can benefit from the opportunities offered by the city. Finally, policies that promote inclusivity and equity are essential. This includes enacting laws that protect the rights of informal settlement residents, providing affordable housing options, and ensuring that urban development plans consider the needs of all citizens, regardless of their socioeconomic status. By pursuing these pathways, we can move towards a future where informal settlements are no longer seen as marginalized areas but as integral parts of inclusive, thriving cities. The ultimate goal of integrating informal settlements into the broader urban landscape is to promote dignity, safety, and inclusivity for all residents. This means creating urban environments where everyone has access to the resources and opportunities needed to live a healthy, fulfilling life. Promoting dignity involves recognizing the inherent worth of every individual and ensuring that their rights are respected, regardless of where they live. This includes providing secure land tenure, access to services, and opportunities for economic and social participation. Safety is also a critical component of inclusive cities. It involves not only protecting residents from physical harm, but also ensuring that their homes and communities are resilient to environmental hazards. By upgrading infrastructure and improving living conditions, we can create safer, more stable environments for all urban residents. Finally, inclusivity means ensuring that all people, regardless of their background or circumstances, have a voice in the decisions that affect their lives. It requires breaking down barriers to participation and creating pathways for marginalized communities to be fully integrated into the life of the city. Through these efforts, we can build cities that are not just inclusive in theory, but in practice cities where every resident, regardless of where they come from, can thrive. As we come to the end of this episode, we hope you've gained a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding informal settlements and the crucial role they play in the quest for inclusive cities. But the journey doesn't end here. The movement towards inclusive cities requires all of us to get involved, whether it's through advocating for better policies, supporting community-driven initiatives, or simply spreading awareness about the importance of inclusivity in urban development. Every action counts as we work together to create cities that truly welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on this important journey. We encourage you to be a part of the movement towards building inclusive cities and to contribute in any way you can. And don't forget to catch the next episode, where we'll continue to explore the key issues and solutions that are shaping the future of our urban spaces. Together, we can make a difference. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.